Okay, good morning. So it's a long time. Monday and Thursday we didn't have class. So I will start right now and let others join. Okay. So we had started the routing algorithms. The first one is distance vector routing. So the routing information protocol is a distance vector routing. The next one is a link state routing. And open shortest path first is based on link state routing. So we had started this routing information protocol. So we had seen that the network, the internet, is divided into AS, the autonomous systems. And within the AS, we have intra-domain routing. So RIP, routing information protocol, is a intra-domain within a autonomous system. It's a small network. It's based on distance vector routing. It's also used in other some other protocols like BGP, the ARPANET, Novel IPX, then ISO IDRP. All these softwares use distance vector routing. So here the algorithm is decentralized. The complete picture of the network is not available to the nodes. The whole picture is not there. It is decentralized. So the routing table is there in the routers, and routers need to forward the incoming packets on one of its links, and to which destination network it should forward. So the data should be available in the routing table, and routing algorithms provide this data. So destination would be a network. And metric, so normally it would be distance, not in terms of kilometers or like that. It would be in terms of the number of links to the destination or number of hops to the destination. So that is the metric. Now we had seen last class that if a router does not know the destination, or another node is not reachable from the router, or it is not the next hop link, then it cannot be seen by this router in the first instance, and the distance would be put infinity. So we cannot put an infinity in an algorithm. So instead of infinity, I told that a small figure would be put like 100 or something. So practically we put 16, because in an autonomous system, we don't expect to have more than 15 hops, 15 links. More than 15 links we don't expect to have. So autonomous systems are small networks. So maximum it could be 15 hops. So we would put a value of 16, which would serve as infinity. So we need to put some value. So address of the router to which packets to be sent. So to which router the packet is to be sent. So all these things are required in the routing table, and this routing algorithms provide this data. We had seen an example of a network in which A would have a table. A would have a table with a destination to different other nodes and the distances to different other nodes, in which E is infinity, because E is not seen by A. However, the node C would have a distance to E. Node C will have a distance to E. This is node C. it has a distance to E. So infinity means does not know how to reach. So there will be periodic updation. So nearby nodes would send their routing table to the other nodes. So updation of routing table in A would occur. So A would receive the routing table from C, and A will modify its table, and it will write as next hop is C. This is the routing table received from C. So the distances via C is here, and it already has a routing table in the first phase, and it will compare, and if it is lower, it will replace the higher values with the lower and make it through C. All others are directly through A itself, 5, 2, and 3. So to reach A, it has to go through C. So if a node C claims its distance to destination is X, and distance between A and C is Y, then distance between A and destination via C is X plus Y. So they add the name of sending node to the third column as next hop here. Then you compare and you form the new table. So this is what we had seen in the last class. We left at this point. So this is the distance vector. So here distances are given as some values. These are the metrics. So to reach B from A, you need a metric of 5. That is the cost or metric. It could be in miles or something, or sometimes it could be number of hops. So here it is given as some value. It could be the distance. So distance, here it is distance. So from A to various nodes, the distance. And that actually this everything is a graph. You have to apply a graph theory with these as the edges, these as the cost for the edges, and these as the nodes. So that is the mathematical treatment of this graph or a network. So that is used in analysis purpose. So however, sometimes during updation, say if there are nodes A, B, and X, A has a distance to X of 2, B has a distance to X of 6 via A. Sometimes this link is failing. Now A to X is infinity. However, B has a distance of 6 via A to X, and somehow A is receiving an update from B. So A will think as B has found out some way to X, because the whole picture is not there. It would update this as 10, and this would again lead to this. So some instability problem, etc. could come. Packet could bounce between A and B. So certain such scenarios also can occur. It is not a foolproof thing. Okay. So to overcome this, we need to add some other some additional algorithm to solve these such kinds of updates. So we won't discuss much into that. However, for the time being, distance vector would have routing tables for all nodes in which distance to neighboring nodes are there, and they are periodically updated, and lowest distance would be computed by compare. So how to define infinity? So for an algorithm, you need to define infinity. So in most implementation of distance vector protocol, define distance between nodes as 1 and infinity as 16. Size of network cannot exceed 15 hops. However, this means that distance vector routing cannot be used in large systems. So autonomous system, we assume it has maximum 15 hops. So in the previous example, for explanation's sake, we didn't use the number of hops. We had used 5. It could be that there are this sends a packets to this, and this receives a packet and finds a distance. So we assume each node can send message to immediate neighbor to find the distance. So basically, if you want to write an algorithm, so this distance vector is iterative. So it computes step by step. That is the meaning of iterative, and asynchronous. So they need not be in sync. Each can have its own table and can be updated. And then local link cost can change. Some links can become infinity, some values can change. Now distance vector update to neighbors are required. So it is distributed. So updation is required when some cost is changing, some periodic updates will be there. And it is distributed. Each node notifies neighbors only when there is distance vector changing. Distance vector means distance to various other nodes. So it is a vector. Many nodes are there. So all the nodes, the distances, that constitutes the distance vector. To particular node, it is a one distance. So there would be many other nodes. So all these constitutes a vector. So neighbors notify their neighbors if necessary. So at each node, we need an algorithm. Wait for change in local link cost or message from neighbor. Recompute the estimate. If distance vector to any destination has changed, notify its neighbor. So everyone will do this. This is distributed and it will inform the neighbors. So there is an equation. It is called Bellman-Ford equation. The same thing we can write mathematically. Same thing. So distance from x to y. Okay, distance from x to y. Node x to node y, the distance, cost of least cost path from x to y. So we can write distance from x to y as minimum of something. Minimum over all v. Minimum over all v. V means the set of nodes, where we know the cost from x to v. V is one of the neighbor. There are many neighbors. So we have distance or a cost from the node x to v and from v to y. So actually we want the minimum distance from x to y. So instead of that, we have cost from x to distance from x to v and from v to y, and there are many such v's. So whichever v provides the minimum, we will take that. So that is this Bellman-Ford equation. So this is the mathematical representation. So suppose we have a node, a network, 2, 1, and 7 are the cost. Somehow we know the cost. Now we want to form a routing table. So initially x would have a table. In this, x is taking its distance from x to x, x to y, and x to z as the 0 to 7. X to x 0, 2, and 7. Initially x knows only this, and y knows its distance to others as 2, 0, and 1, and z knows its distance as 7, 1, and 0. And now in the first step, we would apply this Bellman-Ford equation. So these are the routing tables are received from y and z to x. X is getting the routing table from y and z. Now it will apply this. So from we know that 0 and 2 is okay, but the 7 is not the least cost. So it could have gone through y to z in 3. We know from this figure, but this node doesn't know that. So it has to get this routing table from y. So minimum of cost from x to y and distance from y to y. Minimum of cost from x to z and from z to y. So to compute this value. So from x to y is 2, from y to y is 0, x to z is 7, and from z to y is 0. So this overall minimum overall v would be 2. So that would be 2. Okay. So next one is to z. So minimum from x to y and y to z, 2 plus 1. And minimum of x to z and z to z, 0. So it would be 3. So that equation is applied. So like that, periodically, if we apply this Bellman-Ford equation, and every node does this, overall y, overall v, which are the neighbors, the distance from x to z can be computed. So that is this Bellman-Ford equation. Same thing how we look at this figure and compute. It is written as an iterative algorithm using the Bellman-Ford equation. That is the distance vector routing. We can write an algorithm for all destination y in a set, compute x to y, and then if it is infinity, so we can write an algorithm. Write this Bellman-Ford equation within the loop. So that is the algorithm for distance vector routing. Then two other things which you just note that good news travels fast. Suppose this 4 becomes 1. Link cost is changing. So every time the link cost will not remain static. It is dynamic, depending upon the traffic, depending upon the usage, etc. Somehow this cost reduces to 1. So node detects link cost change, updates routing information, recalculate distance vector, and distance vector changes, it will notify its neighbors. So at some point, y would detect link cost change. It will update its distance. This 1 would be detected by y. At some point, t0. At t1, z receives update from y, updates its table, computes new least cost to x, sends its neighbors its distance vector. At t2, y receives z's update, updates its distance table, y's least cost do not change, so y does not send a message. So this process would terminate very fast within a few iterations. Okay. Now, another problem which we can see is that bad news travels slowly. This is called count to infinity problem. Because in Bellman-Ford equation, we are taking the minimum, and that minimum is like this, dy to x, y to x. So this is bad. Link cost is increasing to 60. So from y to x, so y to x. So cost from y to x plus x to x, x to x. And cost from y to z and z to x. So previously it was 5. This was changed now. We had a 5 here. No, z to x is 5. Z to x is 5. This is 5. Okay. From z to x is 5. So that table would have 5 and minimum of 60, and 5 plus 1 is 6. Now in the next iteration, it would again become little higher and little higher, and thus bad news travels slowly. So that is one thing we have to note in distance vector. You can write the iteration, and it will take about 44 iteration before algorithm will stabilize. Now this is an example of an autonomous system which has 7 networks, and there are 4 routers. The routing information protocol table of a particular router will have 7 rows. So to each network, if there are 7 networks, there will be 7 rows. And which is the next hop? How many? And what is the next hop router address? All these should be there. So this should be finally there in the routing table of all the routers. So this is how this is an autonomous system. So autonomous system, within the autonomous system, we have routing information protocol in which the distance vector algorithm is followed. That is based on this Bellman-Ford equation. So we compute the least cost path, and this is iterative step by step, asynchronous. Everything need not be synchronized, and it is distributed, and link change, cost changes are noted, and it is updated. It is informed to the neighbors. So this is a distributed algorithm. So each node knows only the distance to its neighbor. Each node knows the distance only to its neighbor. So each node gets update from its neighbors. Each node doesn't have a complete picture. It is decentralized. No nodes have complete information. It is decentralized. Full graph. ഈ ഗ്രാഫ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ഒരു നോഡിനും ഇല്ല, ഈ പിക്ചർ ഒരു നോഡിനും ഇല്ല. Whereas the next protocol which we study is called the link state routing. Each node has entire topology of domain, list of nodes and links. So it knows the connection, cost, whether the routers are up or down condition. Then here the algorithm is called Dijkstra's algorithm. In link state routing, the difference between link state routing and distance vector routing is distance vector routing, the entire topology is not known. It is decentralized. Whereas in link state routing, first we form the entire topology. It is known. So this node A would have all this full picture. Likewise, B, C, D, E, everyone knows this entire picture. The entire topology is known. This is also an intra-domain routing within an autonomous system. RIP is based on distance vector, that is an intra-domain routing that is within an autonomous system. And link state routing, that is open shortest path first, that is also a intra-domain routing. It is within a autonomous system, but here each node uses same topology. But however, this topology can vary. Current state of each node and link, some nodes can become broken, or the cost of a link can vary. So that way the topology will change. So the difference is this is a not a decentralized one. The entire topology is not known to everyone. So how to get the link state knowledge? A global knowledge of topology is compiled from partial knowledge of nodes. So these nodes would have A has a state of links of 5 to B and 2 to C and 3 to D. That is a partial knowledge. Similarly, every nodes have partial knowledge. So it knows A knows connection to B with metric 5, C with 2 and D with 3. There is an overlap of knowledge. With these all nodes, there is an overlap of knowledge, and it will guarantee creation of common topology. So the picture of whole domain can be somehow obtained for each node. That is how this link state routing works. So there are 4 set of action in building a routing table for this method, link state routing. First, creation of links of the state by each node. So each node should create its own state of the link called link state packet that has to be created by every node. Now the second step is dissemination of link state packet to everyone, that is flooding. Dissemination of link state packet. First is creation of link state packet. Second step is dissemination of link state packet, which is called flooding. Formation of shortest path tree for each node. Once this partial knowledge is disseminated through link state packets by flooding, now each node can create the shortest path tree for every node. And from that, routing table is created from that shortest path tree. So third step is create shortest path tree. Each node has to create how to reach every other node using the shortest path tree. From that, the routing table is filled. So these are the 4 steps. First is creation of link state packet. So information of node identity So link state packet should contain the information of the node, the identity, as information of the node and the identity, then the list of links. What are the links? Now, there are other two parameters, sequence number and age. So these four are the necessary information in a link state packet. The first two, we know the information of the node, identity and list of links is to make the topology. We need that partial knowledge. Now sequence number, link state packet sequence number. This facilitates flooding and distinguishes one new link state packet from old one. So we will have a sequence number for the link state packets. And also age, like our time to live. It will prevent old link state packets from remaining in the domain for a long time. We always have a time to live field in a IPv4 so that the unnecessary packets which are keeping on circulating within the network can be removed when the time reaches 0. So similar to that age. And also sequence number, so that old data does not override the new data. The first two is obviously required. So link state packets are created on two occasions: when there is a change in topology of the domain and triggering of link state packet dissemination. So under these two cases, this triggering of link state packet is when there is a change in topology, and another is periodically, to ensure that all information is removed from the domain. So periodically means for distance vector, we had seen it was few minutes, 30 minutes, less than that we had seen in last class. But here the time frame for periodic update is 60 minutes or 2 hours based on the implementation. So link state packets are updated at a periodically at a 1 hour or 2 hour basis. Distance vector അതിലും കുറവായിരുന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ നമ്മൾ അത് കണ്ടാൽ 30 minutes or lower. So link state packets, how they know how this information is reaching others. It is by means of flooding. So after node prepared the link state packet which contains the four information, it must be disseminated to all nodes, not only to its neighbors. So here the mechanism is different, not only to its neighbors. It is called flooding. The node sends a copy of link state packet out of each interface. The node means the router. Router will have many interfaces. Out of every interface, it will send the copy. A node receives LSP, compares it with the copy it may have. If new LSP is older, by checking the sequence number, it discards LSP if newer node does the following. So a node, it will disseminate the link state packet by flooding, that is forwarding through all its ports, all its links. Now another node will receive it. Now there will be a sequence number. It will check the sequence number, whether the arriving LSP is a newer one or older one. Accordingly, it will discard if the old LSP and keep the new one. Now it will send a copy of it out of each interface except the one from which the packet has arrived. So a router 1 is sending through all interfaces and router 2 is receiving. Now router 2 will again forward through all interface except the interface from which it received the link state packet from router 1. So this is called flooding, from which it arrived. So it need not send to that interface. This router 2 will again further send through all other interface, and this is called flooding, and it will stop somewhere in the domain. So that is a mechanism of flooding. So link state packet is created, link state packet is disseminated. Now shortest path tree has to be found out. That is the step 3. Now tree is a graph of nodes and links. One node is called the root. All other nodes can be reached from the root only through one single route. Shortest path tree is a tree in which the path between the root and every other node is shortest. Each node needs a shortest path tree with that node as the root. Now Dijkstra algorithm divides the nodes. So to have a shortest path tree, every node after flooding, it gets link state packets, and now it has to find the shortest path tree. So this follows the Dijkstra algorithm. It will create two sets. One is tentative and one is permanent. So it will find the neighbors of current node. So suppose we have a node A, it will find the neighbors of current node. It will make them tentative. There are two lists, tentative and permanent. It will initially make them tentative. All the neighbors, it will make them tentative. Then it will examine them. And if they pass the criteria, it will make them permanent. So there are two lists. So finally, everyone has to go to the permanent list. Instead of that, neighbors would be placed in the tentative list, and some criteria would be applied, and then iteratively it will be moved to the permanent list. So the Dijkstra algorithm, after node receives all LSP, it has the topology. So it will start set a root to local node and move it to tentative list. So when tentative list is empty, the algorithm is over, stop. As long as the tentative list is not empty, among nodes in tentative list, move the one with shortest path to permanent list. So this is again continued, add each unprocessed neighbor of last moved node to tentative list. If not already there, if neighbor is in the tentative list with larger cumulative cost, replace it with the new one. We will see a figure how these nodes are divided into tentative list and permanent list. Formation of shortest path tree. This is the third step. So we will consider A as the root. This is 0. Now there are three neighbors, D, C, and B. Now set root to A and move A to tentative list. Now move A to permanent list and add B, C, D to tentative list. Now out of these neighbors in the tentative list, which is having the least cost, it will be moved to the permanent list. Move C to permanent. Now this E is added to tentative list. And out of these others, whichever is having the shortest distance, that will be moved to the permanent list. Move D to permanent list. Then move B to permanent list. Move E to permanent list. Tentative list is empty. So this would be over. This Dijkstra algorithm would be over. So we'll see another. So once we'll see an example. Once this everything is moved to the tentative list to permanent list, it can construct this routing table from this shortest path tree. We'll see an example. Two more examples we will see. So suppose this is a graph. So this is basically a graph theory, and these are cost between x and x. Cost of x and x dash is cost of link x dash, or example cost of link w to z is pi. Cost could be one or inversely related to bandwidth or inversely related to congestion. This cost can be anything. It can be just one for a hop, or it can be related to bandwidth, or inversely related to bandwidth, or inversely related to congestion. So bandwidth കൂടുമ്പോൾ cost കുറയും, congestion കുറയുമ്പോൾ cost inversely related to congestion കൂടുമ്പോൾ cost congestion കുറയുമ്പോൾ cost കുറയണം. So like that some metric could be there, and least cost path has to be found. And actually this is a graph theory of nodes and edges, and set of routers are nodes. ഇതാണ് സെറ്റ് n എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ സെറ്റ് ഓഫ് റൂട്ടേഴ്സ്, E എന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ സെറ്റ് ഓഫ് ലിങ്ക് UV. അപ്പൊ ഒരു ഗ്രാഫ് ഓഫ് നോഡ്സ് ആൻഡ് എഡ്ജസ് ആണ്. ബേസിക്കലി ഗ്രാഫ് തിയറി ആണ് ഇതിന്റെ underlying mathematics. So we will just see how this link state routing or Dijkstra algorithm can be formulated as a algorithm. So you have a say tentative list. Okay, n dash is u for all nodes v. If v adjacent to u, then if it is not in the list, then the distance minimum is found out, and this is then added to n dash. So if this node is not there in this tentative list, find the minimum, and then that minimum update v, and then it is added to this list until all nodes are there in this tentative list. So set of nodes whose least cost path definitely no. So we are moving to this permanent list. Sorry, this is the permanent list. We are moving all the nodes into this permanent list. Into this permanent list. So when all nodes are moved to this permanent list, this is over. So we can write an algorithm. We can write an algorithm. Minimum has to be found. Update distance for all v adjacent to w. So from w to v, like that for all v. So same thing. Whatever is done here, how you find the least one, the minimum, and move it to the permanent list or move to the set n dash. Actually, mathematically, that is a set n dash. So we'll see an example. Just consider this graph. So we are starting this step 0. So n dash is having u. N dash is this permanent list. It is having u. U is the root. So we are starting with u. Now distance to v, w, x, y, and z. Now it will get 7. To distance to v is 7, and distance to w is 3. Distance to x is 5, and others are infinity. Others are infinity. Now, among these, which is the lowest one? 3. 3 will be moved here. 3 is for distance to w. W will be moved to this permanent list. Now, we have 6 to w to v. So here, since w is available, 3 and 3 is 6. So this is updated. And then 5u, and next one is we are getting this y, that is 11. So this 4, this 11 would be through w. So 8 and 3. 8 and 3 is 11. And once next step, this z also would appear here. Infinity will change. And from this minimum one, 5 will be moved here. So x will appear here. And then this z would come here. So x would go to the permanent list, and then we add x z there, and from this the least cost would move again to this permanent list. So you can iteratively write in how many steps this finally complete n dash is filled. So from this we can write the routing table. Shortest from u to u, u to w. So these are there. U to w is 3, and u to x would be 5. X would be 5, and u to this circled ones would give the shortest path. Y would be 10. Where is y? So y would be 4, 3, 3. So construct distance table for u. See the circles, that gives the minimum distance and predecessor node. We can find the the nodes as well through which we have to pass, so the routing table can be completed. So this is the way routing table is done, the last step. So before routing table, we need to follow the Dijkstra algorithm. And there is one more example I had given, this similar thing, another graph, not this. 537437492. Yeah, it is different one. So you can find this minimum is going every time, this minimum is going, and then you can find the this is another example, and like that you can find the table, which are the circled one. You can find the form the table. So this is how we form the table in linked state algorithm. So open shortest path is a algorithm which is based on linked state. So linked state routing, each node has entire topology of the domain. It knows the connection, everything, and then it will apply Dijkstra algorithm. So complete the entire topology is to be known. So this link state knowledge is shared, and there are 4 steps that the link state packets are to be created. This flooding is used. Every node will just flood through all other nodes, the router nodes, router interfaces, and then that's called flooding. And there is a sequence number used for this and the age field. Then the shortest path tree is formed for each node, and that minimum distance that is used to create routing table is based on shortest path tree. So these are the steps. So that is for today, and we will see the this later on. I think I took more time, I think. Okay. Okay, thank you.